Hey guys, I'm Sahana Shah. Welcome to JAMUN 101. The topic for today is crisis notes. So, what is a crisis note? Well, a crisis note is only used in crisis or hybrid simulations and is a message that you send to the backrooms or the crisis team. These notes express what your character is doing behind the scenes. Once received, the crisis staff reads your note and decides what happens next. Well, why do crisis notes matter? Well, they are 50% of everything you do during crisis committees. They change the direction of the committee, give you power, and allow you to solve problems, make deals, or create chaos. Remember, these notes are not an excuse to screw around, so you can have fun with your crisis plan or arc, but remember to stay in the realm of possibilities. Okay, so here is a basic structure of a crisis note. Follow this, and you will have success. First, your goal. What do you want to happen? What are you trying to achieve? Moving on to your resource, what are you using to make it happen? What is in your suitcase? And then finally, your action. What steps are you taking to achieve this goal using these resources? Your action. Remember, specificity is key. You need to be specific in all aspects of your crisis note in order to get a good response. So, here is an easy formula. In order to goal, I will use my resources to action. By following this structure, it'll be much easier to achieve specificity and have a clear plan of action. Let's move on to an example. Here is a weak note. Hi, I want to send some of my men to sneak into the rebel camp and try to take out their leader. Hopefully, they can cause some chaos. If it works, they'll leave. Thanks. As you can see, there is no goal, no resource or action, no to and from with a clear explanation of the relationship with the recipient, no realism, specificity, or explanation of the who, what, where, when, and how. This is a very weak note. But on the flip side, here is a strong note. Much longer, saying, My dear military advisor, thank you for always standing by my side. You are my most trusted advisor, and I know I can come to you with anything. Under your leadership, I would like to covertly infiltrate the rebel camp outside the eastern city wall by using 5 royal guards to pose as traitors in order to create confusion and weaken the rebel effort. Royal guards will infiltrate a spice caravan and pose as traitors, ca- carrying disguised crates filled with daggers and smoke bombs. They will set off these bombs at the front of the rebel base and will escape using the river path near the camp. Please let me know of the results in a timely fashion. Yours truly, King Louis XII. As you can see, this note is much more thought out and formal. It uses a strong format in order to goal, create confusion, and weaken the rebel effort by resources, 5 royal guards, 2 action, infiltrate the rebel camp. It also clearly explains the relationship with the military advisor in the introduction. This note has a to and from, is realistic and specific, has an explanation of the who, what, where, when, and how. Overall, it is a very strong note. So, to recap, strong notes are specific, realistic, and have a goal, resource, and action, whereas weak notes are vague, unrealistic, and have no specificity or explanation. So, what happens after you send a note? Well, first, the crisis staff read the note, and then they reply back in character as the recipient. In their response, they will usually either implement your request and provide results or updates, or will say that they are unable to accommodate your request and may suggest a different course of action. They may also ask for corrections or further information in order to fulfill your request, but you may want to avoid this because it wastes a note. When coming in with a pre-planned arc is very important. Keep in mind that you will have to adapt and change depending on the responses from crisis staff and the events happening in regular committee. So remember to stay flexible. Here are some final tips for writing notes. Remember to be concise, creative but realistic, and to always explain the how and why. Let's review a bit. First, come in with a pre-planned arc, but be prepared to adapt and change. Crisis notes are your superpower. Make sure you utilize it effectively and be clear, smart, and realistic. Think, what would my character do? Please always stay in your character and really use it to your advantage. And then use this easy formula to really help you, especially if you're struggling. In order to goal, I will use my resources to action. Be specific in all aspects of your note, and especially just during committee. And finally, crisis staff notices good writing, so try to keep up with the formalities and the type of writing. Okay, so here's a little rundown on crisis notes. I hope it was helpful. I know I threw a lot at you, so as always, don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or comments. I will be there for any questions you may have. Good luck.